Cancer rising. Pluto is going through your eighth house. Cancer, you are going through some of the deepest and most transformative soul work out of all the signs, considering that Pluto is going through your eighth house. This video, I'm talking about Pluto in Aquarius and the 20-year transit. I'll be talking about some of the other transits that are happening over this year and next year. So stick with me as I break all of this down for you. Welcome, beloved souls. Welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Vivía, and this is my channel, Your Soul as Well, where I use astrology to help us navigate our shifting and exciting and sometimes turbulent world. I want to remind everybody, like the content I'm creating and you want me to create more content for you, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and remember to hit the notification bell because I am uploading regularly and I would not want you to miss an upload. So your eighth house is a house of depth. It's the house really of your inner psychology. It deals with taboo subjects, often sexuality. Our own sexuality is here. It deals with other people's resources. It could be money or any resources really that belong to another. That could be your partner, a marriage partner or a life partner or a business partner, or really any resources that you have access to. It also is the house of debt and taxes, and things that are hidden or occulted, things that are not easily visible are here in this house. So many mystical and magical things can be found in this house because they're not everyday things, and they're quite often occulted or kept from other people's view. So that is all found in this eighth house. And with Pluto going through this house, Pluto is the archetype that of death and destruction, the archetype that deconstructs everything in order to reconstructive. There's a certain amount of power and empowerment wherever Pluto is found. It deals with everything that is in the underworld. Things that are underhanded or deceitful or not being exposed are represented through Pluto. And Aquarius is the sign of humanity and technology and innovation, amongst other things. So with Pluto going through this house, it's really going to be a change for you at such a deep and soulful level. And remember, it is a 20-year transit. Pluto is naturally comfortable in the eighth house because it actually naturally rules the eighth house of Scorpio in modern astrology. As it's going through this house, you might find a sense of deeper connection to your inner truth, very psychologically transformational for you. And you can almost absolutely guarantee that you are going to grow tremendously through this, given that you work with Pluto and what Pluto presents to you to work on. Because Pluto deals with our fears and our traumas and our insecurities, our phobias, our anxiety. And because it is in the house that has natural domain over these things as well, Pluto in this house will have you challenging this. So this is going to be a lot of healing that you will be embracing as Pluto transits through this house. So it could be healing things as well you may have once considered were taboo. It could be healing sexual intimacy. Many of you may experience greater sexual intimacy with your partners with Pluto going through this house. And as this is happening for many people, there will be a greater sense of vulnerability and a greater comfort in this vulnerability and trusting the other and surrendering to the other. This transit will have you really understanding yourself on a much deeper level and understanding the other as well, the intimate people that are here in your life. It will have you really understanding yourself and the other important people that are in your life as well, especially the ones whom you share resources with or live intimately with or experience life in an intimate way with. Because this is the house of investments and residual income, some of you may really prosper with Pluto moving through this house. It could be very beneficial for you if you make the right investment. And for some of you, that might come in terms of inheritances or even settlements, residual income of all sorts. We have to always be willing with Pluto to just dig a little deeper to get to the truth of things. And if you're willing to do this and really get to the core of that inner psychological nature that you will be going through, opportunities will open for you and new experiences. Pluto is all about power and empowerment. And with this going through your 8th house, your deep psychological house, there will be great opportunities presented to you for your evolution through your self-empowerment. And your authenticity will be here in this 8th house of intimacy and of shared resources. This intimacy and this vulnerability will have you putting in even deeper roots of bonding with others that you've gained trust with and formed intimate relationships with, but also through your own sense of self that you are now firmly establishing. Because Aquarius deals a lot with our social norms and Pluto going through this, it's going to break a lot of the ideas and how you think that you need to show up in society and behave. This could be taboo topics for some of you that you will have to look at as well. But if we go and we look at the chart, I'd like to show you this chart here, November 2nd of 2024, where Mars was opposing Pluto, and this is confrontational and impulsive energy here. Now, Pluto was not in Aquarius yet, but on this date, January 3rd, Pluto is now in Aquarius and Mars is here in retrograde in Leo. Now, I just want you to reflect back on those dates to see if anything came up for you, if there was any type of confrontation for you in your 2nd house here of self-worth and perhaps money, your own money, how you resource yourself, perhaps body, something to do with your body, and here your 8th house of shared resources and intimacy, because it's going to happen one more time here on April 27th, 2025. So Mars and Pluto are going to oppose each other one more time. So it's about 2 months away from now. And so this is just another opportunity. Let's say there was an outburst or some type of impulsive action or confrontation. We always have another chance. Spirit will always, or the universe, however you like to phrase that, will always give us another chance to redo our actions. So you know now that Mars is coming again into its opposition again with Pluto. And so just to be prepared and to again reflect back on if anything happened. On January 21st of 2025, the Sun conjuncted Pluto here in your 8th house. So this was a synodic cycle. It's when Pluto and the Sun come together in a conjunction. They conjuncted at 1 degree here of Aquarius. So this Sun is illuminating and bringing life here, the life force energy here to Pluto. So it's illuminating something. Perhaps something became visible here to you in your 8th house. Maybe within all those topics I spoke about prior, about intimacy and sharing vulnerability, and maybe some control issues, because Pluto is about control and it can be about manipulation, either ourselves over others or others over ourselves. So this is kind of setting the tone, and it's also leading us forward in a tone of, hopefully in a tone of empowerment, empowerment for our own actions. And it can do with any of those things that I've already brought up with Pluto being here in this house, expression of authenticity or vulnerability, and maybe something being exposed here that needs to come to the surface to be seen, to be eradicated, so you can move forward on your best path forward. On March 30th, Neptune is going to ingress Aries here at the 0 point, right? The cardinal point. Now, this is 10 days after the Sun is going to be at this 0 degrees of Aries, which marks the spring equinox. And then shortly after that, then Saturn is going to ingress Aries at the 0 degree point. So something here in this 10th house of yours, Cancer, is starting. And so for many of you, there's a lot of energy here in your 10th house, Cancer. So something new starting for you on your career path, or how you're seen publicly, or your status, your public recognition is being really highlighted here. This is where all this energy is. So some of the challenges with Pluto in Aquarius in your 8th house could be some conflicts or power struggles through intimacy, through shared resources, through intimacy, through deep emotional bonds, and through shared resources. So it's going to be important for you, Cancer rising, to really maintain your sense of self and your sense of power, your own internal empowerment and authorities. And relying heavily on that is going to be very necessary through these times. And it could be very challenging if you're very deeply bonded to another to remain in your power and to remain in that authenticity. But as Pluto goes through and it's conditioning this house and it's chiseling away at all that's there that needs to be regenerated for your higher good, just remember, you're always going to get another chance, and just to come back and try again. Just try to keep yourself open to change, open to the other person's ideas or their ideals, and letting go of the old to allow the new in is going to be important. Also remaining objective, remaining open-minded, and also with a certain sense of detachment as well towards the other and the bonds that you have here in this house. Aquarius deals a lot with detachment, and Pluto has a certain isolating factor. So it's important to consider this, and again, to not attach too much to any one way of being or acting with the other, maybe of sharing resources. Also, this house for many people can deal with addictions because it is the house of toxicity and Scorpio. So some of you might be going through breaking addictions and going through some really deep addictions and having to look at them and having to transform through them. All in all, Cancer, I think that you're going to, after this transit, really have a lot more depth to your character, really a soul depth that people will be able to see in you. I think that it'll build such emotional resiliency in you as well, that you will carry with you for the rest of your life, that will leave you feeling very powerful, very strong, very empowered, and authentic. This is the house of fear and trauma, and with Pluto going through, it's going to be important to face your fears and confront them head on and work through them. Again, it's easier just to work with Pluto, to surrender to Pluto, and just work with it as consciously as possible, to work out the fears, to work out the traumas that are there. This for you could be also what is called a dark night of the soul, crises moments and intense and passionate moments. So just stick with it and just know that this too shall pass. And also, it's important to reach out for help if you feel that you need help. The 8th house is the house of psychology. So some of you may want to reach out to counselors or psychologists or do some regression therapy. That might be necessary for some people experiencing this transit, and it might prove to be very beneficial. But all in all, Cancer, I think that this is going to be such a powerful cleansing time for you, of rejuvenation and of rebirth, and of really finding a way to really connect, to deepen that your bond with your connection with your higher self and knowledge and gnosis of your soul. So I think that this is going to be great for you, albeit hard, but remember to reach out for your resources and reach out to people that you trust to help you along your path. So my beloved Cancers, that's my reading for you at least it's my first reading for you with Pluto going through your 8th house. It's going to be 20 years. I'm sure I'll come back to it again and address it again. I hope that you got something from it. I hope that it helped you. If you haven't yet watched your nodal video, be sure to go watch it. I'll link it here for you. Thank you very much for watching, Cancer. Stay blessed, beloved Cancer, and I will see you on the next video.